Hey you guys, it's Ashley Cunningham here, and I am really excited to be doing a mystery channeling tonight. I cannot wait to see who steps forward. I have a special mystery pinwheel that we're going to be spinning because as we move closer and closer to the middle of July, I've just had so much fae, magical energy around me that I really want to spotlight them tonight and have a good time and see who wants to step forward and have a good time with us. So I'm really excited to do that. Hey Mimi, thanks for joining. And excuse me if my throat sounds a little crazy. I've been battling a lot of really strong allergies this season. It's kind of taken me aback a little bit. But I do live very near to the grass pollen capital of the world. So it's a little bit on my fault. Anywho, what we are going to be doing again is spinning that wheel, and I'm just kind of waiting for a few people to join. I see hellos. Hi, thanks for joining. A few people are popping on. I'm not going to take too much longer. I do want to get the show on the road because we don't have as long a time as we normally do. But also, you guys are here for some mystery channeling, and I think it's going to be really fun. So maybe one more minute. And while we're waiting, I just want to throw out there that this weekend we are going to be having the Angelic Reiki group healing. I'm really, really excited for this group healing because they're always amazing. I always feel so much better when I perform or hold space for a group healing. And it's just really fun to see how people receive the energy and how they interact. And most of the time it kind of blows my mind how much people experience similar experiences during the session. And so that is at channelingwithlove.com. If you haven't joined yet, or if you're interested in joining, it's $30 US per person, and it'll be this Saturday, June 12th at 1 p.m. in a private Facebook group that I'm going to be inviting everyone to tomorrow via email. So if you have signed up, check your email. Make sure you check your spam filters if you don't see it right away. I'm going to be sending those out early in the morning tomorrow just to make sure everyone has time to join the group. But definitely feel free to ask questions if you need to. I'm sorry, got a little distracted here. Mimi has a question. She says she's thinking of us when she'll be working. Aw, Mimi. Yeah, I think you joined though, didn't you? So you're going to be able to receive the healing no matter what. And that's a cool thing about Angelic Reiki is when you sign up, or when you set that intention by signing up for a group healing, you get the healing even if you're not present at the live event. Later that night, say when you're resting or kind of getting settled for the evening, the angels will then come in at that time when you're a little bit more prepared to just rest and relax, and they're going to help bring that energy forward. And what's really cool too is you can always go the next day, or at least within the next 48 hours after that live event, and watch the video, and that energy is just going to blast you. Whenever you're ready to sit down and watch that video, it's going to kick in. And or if you don't have time to watch the video, it'll just kick in automatically when you're in a resting spot. So that's the beauty of angelic Reiki as well. It's so, I feel like it's very freeing. I love that experience of just knowing, okay, that energy's coming in. There's no time or space constraints with energy, especially from angels. Healing angels, they'll come in whenever you need them to, and they'll be right there. So they are pretty amazing, and that's going to be a really fun experience. So if you have any questions, feel free to email me or reach out to me through my website, channelingwithlove.com, and that's where you can register. Okay, so I'm seeing quite a few people joining now. So let's get this show on the road. I'm going to share my screen, and we are going to, let's see here, share. All right, so I hope you guys can see. Yep, I can see you guys can see the screen. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hit the spin wheel button, and we're going to see which magical fae being is going to step forward for us first. And I'm really, really excited about this. Ooh, this is a little bit intense with the spinning. Water nymphs. Oh my gosh, you guys. I am really excited because I have never actually channeled water nymphs before. They are going to be part of the Fairies and Elemental Kingdom course that's coming up in July 9th through the 11th. And it's so cool because I'm learning a lot of about new beings like the water nymphs. We're going to hear from them here in a second. But I'm also able to really get connected again with a lot of the beings that I've worked with in the past, from the dwarves, the elves, the fairies, and it's just going to be a really cool experience. And you can also find that at channelingwithlove.com if you're interested in hanging out with us for that workshop. It's going to be really, really fun. So water nymphs. Okay, let's see here. Whew, okay, so I'm immediately feeling some very fluid, liquidy, kind of smooth energy coming up right to my face. And it's very cool. I typically feel a lot of heat when energy comes into my energetic field, but I'm feeling very cool energy from this water nymph. Female. She's showing she has long hair. It kind of looks like algae, to be honest, like it's green and it's got a little bit of a wet texture. And she's just kind of like laughing, smiling at me. Her energy is, she's kind of presenting this almost like a large pixie type image, very petite, and she doesn't have wings. She has just kind of like a watery texture to her body, almost had like little scales on her arms, and her face is very like a light green color and has some like scale texture around her eyes, very huge, big eyes, and she's got really long, very damp but kind of algae looking hair, but it's like very fine. It's not like big pieces of like sea algae that you would see, or kelp. She's saying, hello everyone. It is an honor to step forward and speak with you at this time. She's saying that this dear one, myself, and Kristen Davies, who's also working with me in that workshop, are always welcome in our kingdom. She's saying that the energy that we focus our attention on is of a high vibrational nature. And she's just thanking us for creating a space for them in that workshop. And she's coming in pretty strong now, so my ears are popping quite a bit. She's saying, ultimately, we are here to reach as many as possible, understanding that you are not disconnected from the earth or Gaia's energy by staying in your little homes. They want you to understand that you're not disconnected. They want you to feel that deep connection with Gaia energetically, and take action upon that connection. Come and swim in the rivers, the seas, the lakes. She's showing like little creeks, and she's showing little kids with boots on jumping in creeks and just having a good time. Like, even though there's not a lot of water, it's not really swimming, just engaging with water is a really healthy, she's saying, a healthy and energetic balancing activity that will bring peace upon your soul, will help to heal your body, physical body, your mental, emotional body. Rain, she's showing, there's an image in my head. I have this experience where I had a really hard day. There was a lot of really horrible stuff that was happening in that specific day. And at the end of the day, there was this big thunderstorm, and I was running through the rain, and I just felt so light and happy and healed from interacting with that rainwater. And I was giggling, and my friend and I, we were running down the street trying to get to our apartment, and we were having a good time. And it was because that energy came through the water and helped to clear our energetic bodies and help our emotional bodies as well, to kind of take a reprieve for a second from the trauma of what was happening in that moment. And she's just highlighting that this is a really powerful experience that many can connect with. There are often pools created. She's showing me in the woods. There are pools that have been created for, she's saying, for us as ourselves, water nymphs, excuse me, for the forest animals, for the tree spirits, for the all spirits that honor Gaia. There are these pools that can show up in a forest. She's making me feel like they're not necessarily like regular ponds, but they show up when they're needed. Kind of a magical, almost cross-dimensional type feel. I'm asking her to solidify that. She's saying yes. She's showing like a tear in the fabric of our dimension. We can step through it like a portal. We can move through a portal, and we can visit these pools if we sink our bodies into it, and we are really just there to honor Gaia and to be a part of that experience. And we can deeply heal ourselves and connect. And I'm asking her, is this dimension where she lives, is in these pools, or does she live here in our dimensional frequencies? She's saying they travel between them. Most often they stay in their other dimension. And I'm asking her, what dimension is that? She's showing her dimension like is as the next layer on top of where we predominantly reside. So it's kind of like there's all these layers to dimensions, and she's in the next one. So I'm asking her, is that the fourth dimension, fifth dimension, sixth dimension? She's saying it depends on where you are at in particular, but she's highlighting it's more in the sixth dimension. Sixth dimensional frequency. So it's a little, maybe a few levels up for some people, or maybe just that next level up for some, but it's very close. Like they're very thinly layered on top of each other. And it's easy to travel between these dimensions to get to these pools, or to come here to where we are. And she's highlighting that she's showing that she likes to travel to our dimension, to be here on Earth with us, because she loves Gaia and her energy, and she loves to feel kind of the swirls. She's saying the eddies of energy that take place in just the natural space of our planet. And she really enjoys the contrast a lot of the time. And she's highlighting that working with humans is also something that she's very excited about doing. She wants to work with us. She's really excited to step forward and speak with the group in July in the workshop, Fairies in the Elemental Kingdom workshop. But ultimately, if you wish to contact her, I'm asking her, what is her name? I don't think she shared her name. She's making me, okay, this is really cute. Her name's Cheryl, with an SH. Her name's Cheryl, and she, it's just making me feel like it's just kind of a plain, her energy is very straightforward and direct, and she likes the name Cheryl. So Cheryl is what she's going to be called by us. And she's just kind of laughing, and she's saying, that she thinks it's funny that I was surprised by that. I wasn't expecting her name to be Cheryl, to be honest, but it's really cute, and it fits her for sure. But she's just saying she's so grateful to have the opportunity to work with anyone who wants to call her in. I'm asking her, what can she help us with if we wanted to work with her? Engaging in healing activities. She predominantly likes to help with healing, cleansing activities of our energetic frequencies, of our programming, bringing forward opportunities for us to create space to heal. So maybe not necessarily the healing itself, but bringing us to a place where we can pause and heal and move forward. She also would just love to be able to chat with people who are interested in channeling her. She doesn't often interact with humans in this kind of direct way, and she very much enjoys the process. She's kind of making me feel like she'd love to just sit at your kitchen table and chit chat with you, have a cup of coffee, cup of tea, drink some water, maybe eat some snacks, just kind of like hang out and chat with you. Very, I feel like her energy is very old school, to say the least. So cute. Okay. Do you guys have any questions for Cheryl the water nymph? I see a few people have joined us since we started. Cheryl has shown up, and she mentioned that there was some opportunities for us to connect and heal by going out to our waterways that are around us, or you can ask to be taken to the water pools in which she does a lot of her work through a dimensional portal. I'm asking her, how could we go about doing that? How could we go to those water pools that she was highlighting for us? I feel like that kind of didn't get addressed fully. She's saying, yeah, all you have to do is ask her to take you, and then you go to sleep. It's more of an astral travel process, and she will accompany you to the pools where you can dip and relax and enjoy the experience of dipping into a magical, she's saying fairy pool, but it doesn't mean just the fairies use those pools. The water nymphs are there. The lots of beings use this energy to kind of rest and relax. I'm asking if we were to, say, drink the water when we are in our astral bodies, what would that do for us? Anchor light within our spiritual vessel. When we're astral traveling, we're not in our physical vessel. So that light wouldn't necessarily anchor within our physical bodies, but we would also be expanding our light, incorporating higher vibrational energy within our more subtle energetic bodies. So our spiritual body, she's saying our emotional body and mental body. Wow, that could be really helpful to just get kind of an out of time and space break to heal up and rest some of our more subtle bodies and things that we need to heal from. She's saying, yes, this is the purpose of this place. Many who reside in that dimensional frequency are able to interact with it in a more physical way. But many humans have also traveled to these pools through their astral bodies, through their energetic bodies. She's saying that some even are able to travel through portals physically, but that's not an experience that you would want to willingly sign up for. That's a kind of more, she's saying it's mysterious for sure, but it's not as exciting and as helpful to our experience as an astral travel would be. And I'm getting the feeling like if you were to go through a portal physically, you would be not here in this realm, so you would be missing, and that would be really scary for your family and your friends. So I don't recommend trying that out. If you just stumble maybe and then stumble out, okay, but not purposely trying to physically go to that other place. It's all energy focused. That's where we want to be. Okay, so I'm answering some questions here. Awesome. So this person here, I'm sorry, I don't see your name, but this person, I'll show the comment, was told that they were possibly a water nymph in a past life. They would love confirmation and possibly a message, please. Awesome, okay. She's saying yes. Cheryl is confirming, yes, you were, you have had an experience as a water nymph. She's showing it's not very many experiences. This isn't an experience that super resonates with your soul energy and your journey. She's showing like less than a handful of experiences as a water nymph. And she's saying not necessarily here on Earth either. So in other locations, you have been a water nymph, and it was an experience. And she's saying you moved on to other more fae experiences, and you've been more of a fairy than a water nymph. But this has kind of come through, and it colors your personal experience here in this world. Any message for this person? Make sure you're hydrating. She's just showing drinking a lot of water. And if you need to squirt, like, it's not like lemon juice, but it's like a flavor water concoction. It's healthy, organic. Focus on the really healthy ones, the clean ones that aren't really chemicals, but maybe are like fresh, like fruit juice, like maybe a lemon. Squirt some lemon in your water, or you can add some strawberries or add some cucumbers. Or she's showing these little droplets. Maybe, I don't know if they're like edible, you know, like you don't ingest essential oils really, but like essential oil, it's kind of showing like a dropper that you would use for an essential oil. So if you're interested in anything like that, definitely follow your instincts and make sure you're reading up so you're really safe when you're ingesting those types of materials. But she's showing that you would benefit from drinking more water with like flavors and things added to it, just to make it more fun. She says there's no need to be she's kind of showing like there's no need to be a drag or be like down about having to drink more water. Like incorporate it, make it light. Okay, so I see here someone is saying that they have been doing some water healing. Any insight on what more that they can do? Okay. She's just kind of clapping her hands. She's very excited that you have been working on water healing. She's saying just keep practicing. Practice, practice, practice. I don't know if part of your healing process you're using crystals. I just see like your hands full of rose quartz crystals and water's running over the crystals. I don't know if that's part of your practice. I have no idea. But she's showing that that's something that might be fun for you to do or to incorporate or to focus on if you're already doing that. Bring more of that in. She's showing like these magical just energies from these stones are infusing in with the water and helping to boost the energy of the healing that you're performing. So definitely try that out. That's cool. Mimi's asking, are they in every kind of water? She's saying no. And she's kind of being a little sassy about it. She's saying no. They do not reside within water that has been damaged irreparably. There are many chemicals that are in some water sources. There are many areas in which it would be very detrimental to their health, and it's detrimental to Gaia's health, but they just don't want to vibrationally be like sunk in with that water. So there are locations where they do not reside, and they will not reside until it's cleaned up and the chemicals, the energy, everything about the locations need to be transmuted and cleaned before they can reside. They say that they do often do this work for places that they can turn the tides around for, but there are some locations that are just so chemically processed and have so much pollution in them that they haven't been able to stop the situation, and they can no longer reside there. So there are some places that they can't be, but for the most part, she's saying that they are in a majority of the water types that you would see. So she's showing creeks, she's showing larger rivers, like small creeks, brooks, rivers, larger rivers. She's showing like large passageway rivers like the Mississippi, the Columbia River over here on the West Coast. She's showing the Yangtze River in China. She's showing a lot of different rivers that are very important for the energy of a large amount of land and space upon Gaia's back. They're very protective of a lot of the places in which they reside. She's highlighting the Amazon as well. So that's a great question. Thank you, Mimi. Let's see here. Jody's saying she would love to visit the pool that you talked about, Cheryl, and she's wanting you to come visit her, and she wants assistance in remembering that visit if you can help her with that. Then she's saying, okay, Jody, you got it. You get what you ask for. Oh, so cute. Okay, Judy is asking for a message. She's saying, Judy, you are a precious one. Just trust and know that you are where you need to be in this moment, and know that there are many who bask in your light and are appreciative of you as a person, the way you approach your life, the way you approach situations. Many around you, not just your spiritual team, but humans, animals, plants, living beings around you really appreciate you and your light that you share with them. And she's saying, I appreciate you as well. And she would love to come in and assist you. I don't know if you have a lot of house plants or maybe a large garden, but she's showing that she would like to assist you in your gardening work or your nature work. Maybe you go on a lot of walks. But she's just showing you being more outside, and she wants to be along with you when you're outside. So please invite her in if you are interested in interacting with her. So beautiful. Okay, so let's see here. Okay, so I see this question here. This is a really good question. This person has wondered before, when there are fires like in the Amazon or Australia, is it possible for a tear to open up between dimensions, kind of like with these pools, and that elementals could help the wildfire in the first escape through? Oh, in the fires to escape through? She's saying yes. When there are large fires such as this, these examples that you've pointed out, there are many elemental beings that step forward from our dimensional frequency, our location, as well as in other dimensions, to come forward to help protect the animals, a lot of the plants, and to help reduce the risks of some of the fires that are experiencing, or that are, creating these events in the forest. She's highlighting the Amazon fires that have been taking place. Ultimately, there is a lot of work that's being done and has been done by elemental beings that are from that location in that area, as well as from other dimensions. The fires themselves sometimes are left to go as they need to transmute or to help foster change within that environment and or the greater collective consciousness. So we saw a lot of people really questioning their own personal choices with those Amazon fires, because part of the reason why those fires were happening in the first place was because people were clearing jungle, or the Amazon land forest, to create pastures for cattle. There's many layers to these situations, but she's showing that ultimately there is a purpose to a lot of these experiences, but the elementals do the best that they can, as well as the galactic beings. She's showing the star people, the star guides, our starseed families coming in to help as well, to help animals, help the plants, and help Gaia. And she's showing that there's a lot of energy that comes out of these experiences, out of these fires, to that gets transmuted, that needs to be transmuted. Ultimately, she's saying, ultimately, we would all want this to happen in a different way, but sometimes these things need to take place. It is a natural process. When it occurs naturally, when it's man-made or created by man, it's a little convoluted there. She's saying that there's much that's done by the elementals by coming forward and opening those portals up and bringing energy through within the fires themselves. That's fascinating. Really fascinating. Thank you for that. Thank you to the person who asked that question. I'm sorry I didn't see your name, but thank you to Cheryl for calling that out. It's very interesting. Okay. All right. So I'm seeing a few general questions for messages. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to spin the wheel again. First, I'm going to say thank you so much to Cheryl, the beautiful water nymph, for joining us. And I'm really excited to connect with her some more. I'm going to be inviting her to that Fairies and Elemental Kingdom workshop. And we're going to have lots of conversations like this in that workshop. It's going to be really fun. And it's just going to be a really good time. And I'm so happy to have finally met a full water nymph and be able to channel her. So thank you to Cheryl. And now we are going to, I'll pull up the spinner wheel again, and we'll see if there's anyone else. I may not get to multiples tonight, but we'll do one more person. Okay, we're looking good there. And we will see who else wants to step forward. This has been really fun. Whoa, okay, the mountain man. Oh my gosh, okay, I'm really excited to channel him. So let me stop sharing my screen. So, okay, his energy's coming straight in. Whew. So when I went to Iceland, I met the mountain man. He is an elemental being that's tied very specifically to a certain mountain in Iceland. I don't know the name of this mountain, but he's come through a few different times when I have done channelings, and even before I went to Iceland, I encountered his energy, and he really is an elemental spiritual being that is connected to a physical location here on Gaia. So in Iceland, at this mountain, southeast Iceland. There's a lot of like big mountain ranges there, and it's just a mountain that's right by the beach. And I'll have to share some pictures or post pictures after this channeling here in Channeling with Love on Facebook, to show you what I'm talking about, which mountain I'm talking about. But he has come through, and he is very gentlemanly. He feels very polished, very posh, but he also can feel sometimes very rugged, like a polished rock. You know, it's polished, it's smooth, it's beautiful, it's shiny, but it's a rock. It's hard, and it's got a denseness to it and an energy to it that is sometimes contradictory to that kind of shiny, polished feel. So he's very dynamic in his energy. And he's saying, hello, everyone. I appreciate the opportunity to step forward at this time, and just to say thank you to everyone who is interested in speaking with the elementals, speaking with the beings that surround you in nature. All of us appreciate your connection, your desire to reach out, and your desire to build a relationship with our energies and with the locations in which we so much, he's saying, we so love and protect, and we are honored to reside within and around. Because he's showing he's in the mountain, he's in the mountain, but he's also kind of like around the space of where this mountain is. And he's just saying, thank you so much for wishing to reach out. This is a rare opportunity. Not many of us humans recognize or remember that the mountains, the trees, the lakes, the hills, the fields, the forests, they have a collective energy, not only just separately a tree spirit in a forest, but also a forest spirit that encompasses all of the energy in that area. So he is a mountain spirit that encompasses that mountain. Fascinating. Love his energy. I'm asking him if there's anything specific that he'd like to share with us about maybe reaching out or working with him, or if there's any messages that he'd like to share before we get to some of the questions. And if you guys have a particular question for him, post it in the comments and I will call it out. He's saying, no, at this time, I just wish to express my gratitude for those of you who are ready to reach out and connect. He's showing that you can do this with your mind. You don't have to be physically in the place that you want to connect with. And he's pointing to Mount Shasta, actually. Mount Shasta is in Northern California, here on the West Coast. And you can reach out and connect with Mount Shasta if you so choose. Even though you may not live on the West Coast, you may not be in America, you may be somewhere else in the world, you can still reach out if you desire to connect with that energy. As we are all one, and there is no time or space constraints outside of the paradigm in which we live as a human collective. So we are very tied to, and this is something that is evolving as we are shifting into different dimensional frequencies, but we are very much tied, in the 3D at least, to physical space-time constraints. As we move forward, those lessen. We're not needing them as much. We're able to move more energetically and reach out and speak to beings such as Mount Shasta or the Mountain Man, who is all the way in Iceland, and I love connecting with him. It's just easy like this. It's just communicating and sensing that energy. So we can connect with our mind. We can connect in physical form if we choose. So if you want to go and visit Mount Shasta, or your favorite location, your favorite forest, your favorite waterfall, canyon, mountain, beach, wherever it is that you want to go and reside and connect with the physical energy of that location, just go there. You can connect in that way as well, just by sitting and being immersed in their energy. And he's showing too that as we get more practice sensing energy and sensing and communicating, reaching out to beings that we want to speak with through our clear senses. We are able to deepen that physical connection when we are in that physical space. So it's really an expansion of what tools we already have at our disposal, our clear senses, as well as feeling our physical senses, our common senses, like our sight, our sound, hearing, our touch, feeling, smelling, and, you know, just being in that environment. Mimi is asking, are there spirits in every mountain? Saying yes, there is energy in every mountain. Just as there's energy in every tree, there's energy in every flower bush. He's showing me roses. There is energy and spiritual beings, elemental beings, who work with all facets of natural life. We are part of that natural life here on Earth. We can co-create with that natural life. He's gesturing to the elves. They are a being, a group of beings, a race, I guess, that is able to really closely co-create with Gaia, with nature, to grow and produce and create the materials that they need to live, their homes, their clothing, the food that they eat, the materials that they use for their daily living. So it's very a co-creative, collaborative experience, a symbiotic, he's saying symbiotic experience. And we as humans can also reach that as well. I'm just recognizing that every stone, he's highlighting like all of our crystals, you know, people who collect crystals and have these amazing crystal displays, all of those crystals have energy and life in them as well. So everything has life and energy within them, including the mountains. And he's saying he particularly loves the space that he resides within, because that matches his energetic frequency, and he enjoys the work that he does in that space. He's showing that he likes to oversee human activity on his beach that's near his mountain. He also enjoys, there's lots of sheep in that area and horses. He enjoys those animals, the plants, the moss that grows upon his back. He loves the seagulls, the water, the weather that comes through, all of the clouds and rainstorms and everything that comes through there. It's very vibrant to him, and he really loves he loves that his energy is there to embody that space and to assist that space in continuing its life force to continue to thrive. Whew, that was a lot. That was a lot of images that are really vivid, really beautiful. I don't think I did them justice in explaining them, but I hope that you guys get a sense of what he's laying down there. Okay, so he's like pointing to you guys now, so I'm going to make sure we get some of these questions answered, and then I think we'll call it a night. This has been really awesome, you guys. If you have more questions, of course, feel free to post them in the comments below. I'm going to scroll up just a little bit just to make sure we have everything. This person would love to know if they were a fairy in a past life. And this person was just thinking today that they would love to be a fairy in a future life. That's awesome. The mountain man's coming through. He's saying, yes, this has been a consistent energetic experience for you. He's saying on Earth as well as other places. He's showing me, it's quite a collection. He's showing me about 50 to 60 lifetimes you've had as a fairy so far. This is a newer energy experience for you. He's showing that you are more galactic in nature, in most of your focus, and experiencing more of those elemental energies and experiences has been really fun for you. Being a human here on Earth is not as fun as being a fairy here on Earth. So he's kind of chuckling. He's like, I'm not surprised that you would want to be a fairy again. being a fairy in the future in another life experience is totally possible. He's highlighting, though, that you might not have the progress as a fairy as much as you would as a human, having more of that contrast for your soul journey. But being in a fairy experience, it's so love and light filled and fun. And he's zeroing in on like little details, like raindrops on flower petals and dappled light coming in through the forest canopy. He's showing me like leaves on the ground. All of these things bring a sense of joy for you, and you may really enjoy being in that space again. You can always come back and be human as well, but he's highlighting that it's just a matter of what your soul is expecting or want. Your higher self, really, your higher self, your soul, and your whole being is really going for on your journey. Okay. Jody is saying she was once told she was possibly a mermaid who was placing large crystals underwater. Not sure what it was for. Would she know about that? Oh, that was for Cheryl, but maybe the mountain man can answer that. He's saying yes. There are many crystals upon the seabed, the ocean bed, the bottom of the ocean. There are many crystals within the crust of the earth, deep in a lot of dark spaces. There are vibrant pools of energy that are in these crystal formations. And he's saying that mermaids typically don't place crystals, but they may be working with crystals. So maybe the person who was telling you that was seeing you working with those crystals. Crystals are very helpful for water, healing water, and for healing the energetic space around them. It's a very peaceful way of using a natural formation to bring health and balance into that space. So he's highlighting that that's totally possible that you are working with crystals. I'm asking, were you a mermaid? He's saying, yes. And he's kind of making me feel like someone was asking about water nymphs before. It was only a handful of times, so maybe not a ton of life experiences, but here and there you have had that experience. Surrounded by water, being surrounded by water is something very soothing for you. He's showing like it's very calming. So I don't know if you really enjoy swimming or are an avid swimmer or diver, but doing those activities might be something that kind of calls back to that nature that you have from your other experiences. That's so cool. Okay. Mimi's asking, can we ask the mountain man to come and see us in our dreams as well? And he's saying, definitely. Please ask me to visit you, to assist you. He's saying that as you move forward, he's kind of bowing, kind of half bowing, and saying he would love to assist on your journey moving forward, Mimi, as well as anyone else who's interested or resonates with his energy. Yeah. Okay. All right. So let's see here. We have a few more questions, and then I think I'm gonna have to cut it off here. I think we could keep going because his energy is so awesome. But I'll take this last question. I'm really connected to locations in England, even though I've never been there. Can he see if I've lived there in past lives? He's saying yes, he can see very clearly that you have a cord tied from you to England. And he's showing like these hillscapes, just really vast, beautiful landscapes that you're resonating with. And he's saying you've had many experiences there. But he's wanting you to honor that connection and maybe just reach out to that energy of that land and say, you'd like to be there or travel there when you're going to sleep, and travel there in your dream state or your astral travel state, and see if they have messages for you, or if you wish to visit there more often. He's saying at this time, there may not be as many opportunities to physically travel there, depending on your situation and kind of the global situation. But if you wish to travel there through your dreams and through energy, all you need to do is ask and set that intention, and you can make that happen. He's saying this would be a very healing, almost a reuniting of home in person type of experience. You know, when you just come home after a long vacation, you're just like, whew, oh my gosh, I can take a deep breath now. I feel relaxed. It's kind of that feeling that you would get. He's saying call out to it and recognize that it is a part of you and you have that connection there. Beautiful. Okay. Well, thank you guys so much for the awesome questions. And I really appreciate you guys hanging out. And I do want to say, too, I appreciate you guys for being so patient with me. I know particularly this event was really troublesome to have set on a schedule and be able to make it and bring the awesome energy that it needed to the forefront. So I appreciate you guys being really flexible with me. And I can't wait to see you guys next week. I haven't posted the events for June yet, but I will be getting some events up. So look out for those on the group wall. And if you're watching this later and you're not part of Channeling with Love, feel free to find us on Facebook so you can join those live events. That's where everyone gets to ask their questions, and I channel live here in the group. So if you're looking for that, definitely find us on Facebook. And if you guys have any requests, definitely shoot them my way as well. I always love taking requests to channel beings that you're really interested in. And I will be doing a second monthly or a second June mystery channeling at the end of this month. But I think we'll go back to our regular mystery channeling wheel with a lot of your guys' suggestions from the last few months. So look out for that. And thank you guys again. If you wish to join the Angelic Reiki Healing, we only have a few days left before that happens. It's happening this Saturday. And definitely, if you're interested in the fairy content, this more magical content, and you want to have just kind of a binge type of weekend on this content, connecting with these beings, definitely check out the Fairies and Elementals Kingdom event. All of those events can be found on my website, channelingwithlove.com. They're really, really exciting, and it's going to be amazing. I can't wait. I'm getting the group set up and the workbook written, and there's just so much energy that's been hanging out here. It's been fantastic. So it's going to be a fun time, a good weekend, July 9th through the 11th. But okay, with that, I'm going to let you guys go. Thank you so much again for hanging out with me, and I hope you all have a good rest of your evening. Bye now.